In this video, we will cover 3 different ways interior design illustrators create special effects using the classic gradient tool in Adobe Photoshop. We begin with a drawing by the great Jen Ski from her Mid-Century Mania coloring book. The classic gradient settings in Adobe Photoshop provides a powerful rendering tool that can help you achieve many effects, which we will explore in this video series, including cool metallic effects, visual interest, hardware, and apparent depth. This video specifically covers cool metals on the picture frames. Further videos in this series include rendering the toy jacks, the cabinet hardware, baseboards, and the interior cabinet space. Special thanks goes to Tamara Fisher for permission to use her winning project illustration. Let's get started setting up the Jen Ski illustration to be rendered in Adobe Photoshop. We begin our work in the Layers panel by creating a duplicate copy of the background layer. This will serve as a backup to the original background copy, which contains Jen's illustration. We want to keep the background layer pristine without any rendering on it. Any color or effects we add to the composition will be added to unique layers we create. The original background layer should remain locked and the visibility eye turned off while we work from the background copy layer. The background copy layer is a strategy for beginners just in case rogue pixels accidentally end up on the background layer. If this happens, we will have the original background layer locked and tucked away in case we need to go back and reference it. To make a duplicate copy of the background layer, pick on it to make it current. And then type the quick key command stroke, Control J if you're on a PC, or Command J if you're on a Mac. To rename the layer, double-click on Layer 1. Moving on, there is one rule you must adhere to if you work with a duplicate background layer, which is that only one background layer can be visible at a time. With this in mind, turn off the visibility of the original background layer. Make the background copy layer the current layer by picking on it. Locate the gradient tool on the main toolbar or type G on the keyboard. Gradient is located 7 icons from the top of the main toolbar on the left-hand column and shares space with the paint bucket tool. Let's take a hyperpause here. Adobe Photoshop has 2 gradient settings. Until very recently, there was only one setting. My videos follow the classic gradient setting, although on the older videos it will simply show gradient on the options band, because the videos were created before there was a distinction between the 2 gradient options. In nearly all of my videos, understand that if you want your results to match mine, you should be using the classic gradient setting. This is because we create our own layers for the gradient tool and therefore do not need to create a layer mask, which the plain gradient setting makes. This can be confusing, and we have Adobe Photoshop to thank. They could simply have renamed the new version of the gradient tool, but instead renamed the old version to Classic Gradient. So please be aware of this when you watch my older videos, and please always remember to use the Classic Gradient setting. With that caution out of the way, I will also state that there are 2 ways I demonstrate the gradient tool. Mode is typically set to normal and 100% opacity, or I will set mode to multiply and the opacity will be set between 30 and 45%. You will see the effect of each of these variations in this demonstration. Let's create a new layer for the gradient effect. We will be working on the picture frames, so giving the layer a logical name is helpful. I will demonstrate one last way to create a layer, which is to go to the 4 horizontal lines in the top right-hand corner of the layer panel, pick on New Layer. Notice this time that a New Layer dialog appears. You can name the layer here and also choose different options for the layer property setting. Pick on the new layer to make it current, which is differentiated by the light gray band you see here. Let's get set up for the classic gradient settings. On the main toolbar, make sure the foreground fill is set to black and the background fill is set to white. Look to the options panel. Make sure the setting is classic gradient. Pick on the down arrow of the adjacent gradient band. Expand the Basics folder and pick on the third option, black to white. Pick on the first linear gradient pattern. Mode should be set to normal. Opacity set to 100%. And method should also be classic. Start with the Magic Wand tool and make sure that your settings match mine. Pick inside of the top rail of the picture frame. Avoid picking on the black line. Pick in an open white area between the two lines. Switch to the gradient tool. Hold the Shift key down to draw a straight line. The line represents the full gradient pattern. Drawing a longer line makes a longer gradient pattern. Drawing a short gradient line creates a tight short pattern. Watch as I switch back and forth between the Magic Wand tool and the gradient tool. If you are zoomed in close, as I am here, use the Hand tool on the main toolbar to move down in the magnified area to complete the bottom picture frame. I will repeat the gradient process from the top frame shown before. To recap this video, you were introduced to the Classic Gradient tool and the Classic Gradient settings. There are two main methods that are used in my videos to demonstrate the Classic Gradient settings. Number 1, normal mode at 100% opacity, and number 2, multiply mode set between 30 and 45% opacity. This video demonstrated method number 1. In the Toy Jacks video, you will see a demonstration of method number 2. Additional topics covered in this video included a duplicate background copy strategy for beginning Photoshop illustrators, the layer panel mini menu flyout for creating and naming a new layer, and the pan hand tool for moving around in a composition when you are zoomed up close in one particular section of the illustration. You can see both methods, number 1 and number 2, of the Classic Gradient tool in many of my different videos. Look for them.